Hello, everyone out there in TV land, wherever you're watching this, in your home, on your phone, or maybe you're just tuning into us psychically with your telepathic communication, which I hope so. I hope when you see this video, it sparks something within you, regardless of what we say or what we do, but how we do it. I'm genuinely sending love out to you right now. Does it seem all mystical or magical? Well, it is, but we don't have to make it more mystical and mysterious and scary. It's really, really simple. We're all made of energy. And this whole experience that you're seeing, this computer, my hand, everything is a hologram of frequency and light. And then when we broaden our perspective and our spectrum of reality and harness our frequencies to a higher plane, we can create anything.
But in order to do that, you need to get outside of your comfort zone, and you have to be willing to do things you've never done before in order to expand your consciousness.
Absolutely.
Right? Because there's mental blocks that we put in through our societal conditioning.
And we also put them in for safety because we weren't mature enough to process this. Like, for example, this lady right here, we just met 2 days ago, and we already feel comfortable enough to be sharing a dual video with you. So, I mean, that's a perfect example. No one's strangers. We're all brothers and sisters, star brothers and sisters, because we're all made of stardust. If you ask an astronomer a true question about what they believe in life on other planets, and they know that we're all made of stardust. Think about that.
And our stardust, I mean, if you think about it, our DNA spirals, right? And then galaxies spiral. So our cells are like the stars.
Spiral, just like this conversation is spiraling, going in and out and different things like a stream of consciousness. So you're trying to look dogmatically what we're saying, but it doesn't matter because there's healing going on. There's Reiki in the vibration of our words. We don't have to study by any grand master. It's innate in our nature. You get that? No handlebars. Back in the old paradigm in the age of Pisces, you needed a lot of different rituals to harness that power. And a lot of people in this New Age movement or in this time of ascension get caught in studying all the old stuff, which is great. It helps you understand where you've come from. But does God have rituals to manifest? And what are we built in the image of? So we're learning. Yeah, and look at this. I love this right here. This is coming up a lot.
Oh, I have a little sticker with that. What's it called? It's the spiral. Yeah, I'll draw it.
It's awesome. It's 3 spirals. So all right, 3 is a very, very important number. Tesla, he wouldn't even sleep. He was so superstitious. He wouldn't even sleep in a motel room without the 3, 6, or 9. It's how it's divisible. Now, I'm not.
That right there. That right there. Yeah.
You would love my buddy Alexander. He has a necklace of that was given to him.
Yeah.
And he wears it over his cross. So infusing lights. This is what we're doing. This is just very, very regular. I am a performer. Street performance.
Aren't we all though, right? The person one goes into is just a mask worn over consciousness.
Absolutely, we're all storytellers.
And even Shakespeare said, all the world's a theater, and we're all just characters wearing a mask. But to take off your mask and still play a role.
That's right. And you can circulate and shift roles. So that means like if you're needed to play the leader, play it. If you're needed to play the follower, play it. It doesn't matter which role you play. There's no hierarchy. There's no real leaders.
It's like take away the form of competition, right? Like we're always thinking like, oh, like I'm gonna own him, or I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound smart, and then they're gonna like me.
Right. You're not competing for someone else's attention.
Just let it flow and trust that you'll know what to say when you need to say it, and you'll know when to truly be quiet and let it soak in.
Bask in each other's company.
Yeah.
So when you're talking from a place of fear, it becomes posturing, where you're illustrating all the stuff that makes you strong. When you're with someone in unconditional love, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's not a weakness. It opens you up like a flower and you blossom into the world. And then you get that inspiration to do something even different and more brave. Do you want to fly? Fly. Unlock your DNA, unlock your mind, get rid of all the constraints of your conceptual living and be free.
Yeah, but okay, how do you speak like, but okay, so someone like that's predominantly living in 3D, they would be like, but how do I do that? How, because
That's a good question. Well, and this is a dance, and she led me into the right place because she felt it. But it's inward. So a lot of us are used to having middlemen, priests, gurus, leaders, teachers.
Yeah.
And we're all
Religions.
teachers. We're all teachers.
Yeah.
But if we're not listening to each other and we're too worried about how we look, then all we're doing is teach each other a bunch of bullshit.
It's true, yeah. It's because it's not coming from the heart. It's coming from the mind, and mind is a tool. It's not you. It's a tool.
In fact, I have a thesis about the mind and the body. And this is, take it for what you will.
Take what you want, leave what you don't need with this video and anything we say.
Absolutely.
Right? And for those of you that yeah, right? Because if it resonates with you and you're at the point of your spiritual development and awakening that what we're saying is beneficial, then that's awesome, and that's why we're here. And if it doesn't, then that's fine, and there's no need to feel this hostility or, like we're not trying to threaten you. That's the thing. Like we have these self-defense mechanisms that we set up to protect ourselves.
People get stuck in this automatic response, fight or flight response, and they're actually constantly being pushed in it because they're not being nurtured, they're not being loved, they're told to keep their feelings at home. Then they go to these relationships that they came into in a political sense. When you relate with someone and they're your life partner and you can't talk to them about the people that you're attracted to or drawn to or have permission to go places you want to go, that's not your life partner, that's your warden. Your life partner enjoys their own space and then comes back to you and infuses you with what they learned. Your life partner encourages you and looks out for the people that might not be looking out for you, but you have to build on that.
And by life partner, it doesn't even have to be romance. I mean, every relationship in your life should be like that. Like, why would you have people that make you feel like, just...
I would have to agree. It doesn't have to be romantic, but everything really is a romance. It's a romance with yourself. This ascension process is falling in love with you and all your reflections. So instead of it,
because your outer world is a reflection of your inner world.
So instead of it not being romantic, so to speak, make everything romantic. Make that meal you eat a seductive thing. Make that book you read the most enjoyable moment of your life. Make that ride in the elevator the pleasant, quietest moment that you have in the day. Make that stranger you bump into be a happy little accident, like Bob Ross said.
Well, that's what we are, right? A happy accident.
Happy accident. and science would say that we're happy accidents because there was a equal matter of matter and antimatter, and it was just a random little too much matter, and we were created. Regardless of what you feel about science and all these things, because science is really the art of disproving things to find truth. So it's eliminating options. It's not really finding any truth. The truth is inward. So you want to say, well, how do I go inward to find my truth, right? Mm-hmm. How do I discover all this ancient knowledge that's hidden in my DNA?
Yes.
Well, first off, you might want to spend some time with yourself.
Yeah, right? I find that so many people, we're afraid to be alone. Like, we're always, like, wanting to hang out with people, and then if we're on our own, like, we feel lonely, and we think no one likes us, and then, like, we start to hate ourselves, and that's just, like, increasing the self-hate even more.
Right, because you're not ever really alone. There's always some...
Do you really think your insecurities are original?
No, they were perpetrated on you to keep you weak. I had this conversation. This is great. Like, we should definitely do a podcast, guys, because this video, it's not that it's going all over the place. It's just opening up more and more.
Because everything's connected.
Out. Absolutely.
And you can go back and forth, and it's just, yeah.
The game of life.
Mm-hmm.
For me, in this moment, in the now, this is very validating. To be around someone who understands and gets intrinsically who I am without knowing my life story. Because my life story doesn't define me. I define me.
Yes.
My life story teaches me.
Your presence defines you.
Mm-hmm.
I people come up to me on the subway all the time, and they don't ask me about where I'm from or my story there. They comment on my energy, and we just talk about other things, more deeper things. And that's the thing. You meet people, and there's a social script. Where are you from? Oh, if we're not in the same age range, and if we're opposite sexes, we shouldn't be talking or hanging out because that's weird, you know. And like, don't talk to strangers, and all these different things. It's purely just manifestations of the mind.
Right, because we're not allowing ourselves to enjoy life like we could. We're not allowing ourselves to find the romance in the moment. This is a romance with yourself. When you have self-love, that ripples to universal compassion. Because once you have self-love, you see someone down, you have no fear-ridden belief that needs you to kick them further down to feel better about yourself.
And because of the law of attraction, you find that love within yourself, that inner God, that light, that essence. It shows in your eyes because you know who you are and you love yourself. You can tell when someone's sad and depressed, right? They don't like themselves, like you can tell. So when you have this love within yourself, it's the spark, and people are going to be drawn to you by your presence and your love because that same inner God essence that exists in the other person that wants to come out is going to be triggered by that inner knowing. And all the rest will unfold.
So let's be alone together.
Yes.
And we're still going through the human condition.
About the empath cluster, or like, yeah, the whole with the empaths.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah,
that's important, right? Especially now.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I guarantee if you're watching this video, like you've gone through depression and loneliness, and just like, what am I doing with my life? Like
pain, suffering, feeling like you didn't matter, that your voice wasn't heard, and you know what's kind of sad about that? You know what the universe is doing? You know what Mother Gaia is doing? They're crying, going, why do my kids ignore me? Why do they not see all this food I put out in front of them, all this love I put out in front of them?
And so much to appreciate.
Right. So instead of, when you're feeling sad, instead of internalizing it that you were sad, internalize it that the universe was sad that you weren't happy. And you were feeling it.
I love that. Yeah.
So it's important right now in 2018, which has been called the year of illumination.
The number 11, if you're into astrology and numerology, because 2 + 0 = 8 is 11, which is the master number.
Boom, awakening code. You see, does it translate that we're having fun? This isn't scripted. We haven't talked a lot. We're tapping in unity consciousness. And actually, we're tapping in really well with each other. I don't know if I actually really tap into it with everybody the same way I do with you. And that's okay. Because when I leave here, and whoever I interact with, I could pay that forward, and same for her. That's why it's important to nurture each other with your connections. And it's not always about being polite. It's not always about agreeing. I mean, I could go off the wall.
It's about speaking your truth.
Yeah.
It's about being honest.
Absolutely.
With yourself, with other people.
So I'll leave you with a little. Actually, did you want to talk more about the cluster?
Yeah.
Let's talk about more. You want to go into what your feeling is on it?
Because so a lot of us are feeling alone, right, and separated, and I've been feeling that so much, and I've been asking, the universe, God, like light, like whatever you want to call it. Just I need guidance. I want to find people that understand my inner state and spiritual growth and where I'm at, so that I can get past the mundane societal constructs of normal day-to-day conversations and actually start to talk about reality. How I'm feeling, where we came from, but where we're going.
Which is going to be awesome. It's going to be heaven on earth, a new Eden. You go into the age of Aquarius. See, it was also called the age of illumination. I want to touch back on that for a second. The age of illumination. So when things are illuminated with photon beams, cosmic light coming in, it fills our being. It fills the planet's being. But it can't do that if there's a bunch of nasty, clogged chakras full of dense, dark feelings that have not been released. So now, as this light comes in, it's kind of forcing us to release the darkness, and it's going to play a story out as well. So if you see things like secret societies or child molesters or government problems, it's just an example of what's been there for a long time that we've been ignoring. So it's not even really anything new. But if you see it in the public eye, that means it's being released to not
Mm.
be here anymore. More cosmic light is taking its place.
That's true. And if you think about it, that all relates to the government, right? Like before, if you would tell people, oh, the government's doing this or that, all these conspiracy theories, it'd be like, you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And now it would be crazy to say that the government's telling the truth about everything.
Well, you got to think about it. In the construct of a power paradigm, a pyramid paradigm, when you're at the top, you have all these resources, and if you've stolen resources from everyone else, you're going to have guilt, and you're going to be in fear, and you're going to build bombs and guns and wars and everything. So guess what? They have no power over you. They're all scared. We have to work together, and we could take control of this planet. And don't worry, guess what? Mother Gaia's already got something working.
It's true. If you just follow your heart and don't listen to the constructs of society and all the news and really go within to understand what's going on and open up to your intuition and meeting new people and going to places where you might not usually go, then you'll be led and to meet other people, that are on your same frequency that agree with everything you're saying. And that's why it's beautiful we have the internet. Like we created, like the younger generation, like we created.
Absolutely. The technology is source material. Don't ever think anything is unnatural. Think about this. There is not one thing in this planet that's unnatural. It's just things that are not in harmony. Anything that a human creates is natural because we are part of nature. If a beaver builds a dam, is that unnatural or is that the beaver's nature? If a human constructs a computer, is that unnatural or is it part of its nature? The harmony and the disharmony is the only thing that you really see. You see when it's disharmony is when everything is not fitting together like pieces in a puzzle, and it's like the gears are grinding,
and that's why we're feeling all this inner grinding, right? Because like the way the collective is right now is a reflection of the inner human consciousness. So as we get to know ourselves, as we begin to ascend, as we unlock these DNA activations within ourselves, the world will come together. There will be more world peace. There's going to be no more wars and gun control.
Now. It's happening
the movements,
right
the women's movements, right? Like everything, it's falling into place.
It's about unity. It's about unity. It's about an understanding. It's not about age, gender, race, because we're all family.
Okay, so I can kind of like I'm like sensing that people watching this video are gonna be like, oh, but it's so like like that's such a big dream to say, like, oh, there's gonna be peace on earth. Like, yeah, that would be like, everyone would say, yeah, peace on earth would be nice, but that's totally like not gonna happen.
Well, it's just logical. If you really think about it, peace on earth is a logical manifestation of understanding that honesty, sincerity, when applied, works harmoniously. So a lot of people just aren't in the belief system that it works because they're too coming out of fear and being strategic. It's okay to have strategy, okay? Like, for example, it's okay to understand the strategies of things and the way things work, but then you just got to risk it for the biscuit and go in there and jump in that pool and get warm. If the water's cold, you're not gonna jump in there like one toe at a time. Just jump right in, because no matter what you do, there's no pass fail. No matter what you do, if you ask for it, Mother Gaia will cradle you in her arms and nurture and love you. You just gotta ask. That's the one thing I have learned.
The power of free will. That was something we were all born with when we came into this planet. The free will to choose what we think about, what we do, and what we believe in. And if you decide to believe in yourself and the good in this world, and you will be guided. I just broke part of my bed.
Powerful, guys. You see what you guys did? Tisk tisk. And yeah, let's do that for a moment. Let's just take a moment and be right in front of camera.
Yeah, just this breath is medicine. And just feel your inner landscape, how it feels. Is your mind racing, being like, why am I still watching this? Is it saying, wow, maybe there were some good seeds. Maybe I agree with every word they say. Or maybe some stuff, I don't know about that. And then feel about how you feel, the feeler behind that, like on the other side of what you're thinking. And just see how deep you can really go.
Right, and when you go that deep, you'll notice things will rise to the surface. Just remember, if you're feeling a certain way, don't conclude that you're feeling that way. maybe conclude that something's rising to the surface and you're
For a
reliving an old feeling.
reason,
Yeah.
yeah.
And when you do that, you can
And
let it go
it's
faster.
like when you clean a room, right? And you're like dusting
Yeah,
like
you're
the
like,
carpet, yeah.
You know, you're gonna cough. There's a
Because the
reaction
stuff
to
is
that.
getting moved
Such a great
around,
metaphor. I
right?
love
So
that.
like you start to feel these things and sad and depressed or any like anything you feel, and then our society tells you numb it, take drugs, like we numb it. But I always say you have to feel it in order to heal it. Because the only way out is through, and once you get through that darkness and that pain, that's where the light is.
And I want to give them a little tip here. It can be overwhelming. We're throwing a lot of information at you, a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So it could be overwhelming. You're like, well, what am I supposed to do? Just remember, just absorb this. Don't worry about in your mind what you have to do. Just absorb this and feel this, and then go across your day and live life and watch it change. There's Reiki in our words, in our images, and in our eyes. We don't even have to ask you for permission. Your subconscious is going, yes, this is love. This is togetherness.
Like the fact
this is what I
you're
really
watching
believe.
this, yeah,
exactly.
shows that your subconscious wants you to watch this, even though like if you're consciously not agreeing with what we're saying, but you're still watching this, that's your subconscious. That's the hierarchy.
Yeah.
You want to explain that to them?
We'll have to do that. We're gonna have to do hierarchy in another video.
Okay, we'll do that in another video.
Because I know that it's a little bit of a short attention span culture, and we've already gone 20 minutes.
That's very true.
But basically, if you want to
We can
research,
do that another one.
yeah, if you want to research Hayoka, it's a Native American word. It means sacred clown or fool. They heal people through mirroring and unorthodox methods. The Buddhist monks called it crazy wisdom. They're usually on the fringes of society. They do things backwards, left-handed, ambidextrous, dyslexic, will do things the wrong way but still end up at the same place.
Subconscious working its way backward in order to pull you into that state of realization that you consciously don't want because you think you're not ready, but really you are.
You gotta have the yin to the yang. So in this new day and age, no handlebars, guys. Just throw out every single label that you have and be open to what you want it to be. If you want the sky to be purple, did it ever occur to you to pray for it to be purple? Think about it. If you're one person and you're praying for it to be purple, mathematically, there's millions of people praying for the same thing. What happens if you get a whole planet unified and synchronized? What could you do then?
Whatever you want.
And that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure they're probably like, this is such a long video. So, okay, we're gonna sign out. But if you did watch this all the way through, we appreciate you taking the time.
Can I be super like unsmooth and authentic here and tell them a little joke before they go?
Okay, yeah, I love that.
Okay. What did the hippie say when you try to get him off your couch? Do you remember?
I don't think you told me this one. I don't.
I'ma stay.
Okay.